What is going on, YouTube? So I'm going to give you guys a little vlog and a channel update on my 2009 Mazdaspeed 3. Me and my buddy were out last night hooning around. He has a BMW 335i. And after playing around, we came to a stop. There's steam coming off my driver's side rotor. So I figured maybe when I was brake boosting I cooked the pads or something. And anyways, no, it turns out I ripped the axle boot to smithereens and it slung grease. I mean, it's all over the place. What's crazy is it's all inside the wheel. Almost looks like paint, like a gloss black paint job. Anyways, you can see I've lopped a lot of the grease up, but it's still all over the place. All over the coilover, sway bar, tie rod, control arm. It's smeared everywhere. But anyways, right now I had to run over to my grandfather's and grab a 1/2 inch to inch adapter because I don't have one, but I need to get this 32mm axle nut off. But anyways, if you guys are going to do this job yourself, it's not too bad. You gotta take this nut off your tie rod right here. It's actually, you have to put a I think I'll tell you exactly, but there's a wrench you have to put behind it to free this nut up, or else it'll just freely spin if you try to impact it off. But yeah, you got those two nuts to take off. Brake line, these are aftermarket max speeding rod coilovers, so has a little bracket for the brake line. You just gotta, I actually had to push mine up and over to release that. Nothing crazy. If you guys are mechanically inclined at all, none of this is hard. There is a little like tab right here, you guys. I had to put a little flathead in it and kind of pry that out, just so when I break this nut free, it doesn't get inside that little keyway and screw it up. But it was kind of like, looked like someone took a punch and punched it inside the keyway there, and I guess that's one way of locking it in so it doesn't spin out on its own. I'm pretty sure my new axle will come with a new nut, but just in case, I don't want to mangle that one up too much. But yeah, my axle, I ordered a DTA axle off Amazon. A lot of people have good luck with them, so I went ahead and I wrote this down just for future reference when I go back with putting this stuff back together. That way I'm not hunting for tools when I put all this stuff up. But yeah, the sway bar end link, you have to use an 18mm wrench on the back of it. Then I used a 15mm socket to zip that nut off. The tie rod nut was a 17mm. Axle nut, 32mm, and yeah, my spelling's great, but spindle nut is a 17mm. So the spindle nut, I'll still have it on, just so that nut right there, I'm leaving it on so that way when I get this nut off, there's still like pressure, so I can take a like a dead blow and try to beat these splines out from the spindle. And then I have a big pry bar. Hopefully I can just pry the axle out once I loosen this up. But once you loosen that up, the whole spindle, like rotor and everything, will just kind of slide down, and it should free up some room. So axle nut's a 32mm. Absolute monstrosity of a setup here. Hopefully this impact's got the torque to just zip it off. And it does, even with a 2-amp battery. So axle nut's free. Oh yeah, I sprayed some breakaway. So if you have PB Blaster, WD-40, some kind of penetrating oil, just spray it in there. Let it kind of soak into the splines, so that way we can just beat that axle out. Okay, so I used to have a punch. I don't know where it went, so I'm gonna use this bolt right here. But before we start trying to beat this axle out, let's go ahead and take your I'm using this little hammer right here to beat your tie rod out, and of course your end link. You gotta free those up because there's gonna be tension if not. But anyway, I'm gonna see if I can just get this right here and try to beat this axle out before I loosen up the spindle to coil housing nut, bolt, whatever it is, real quick. Okay, so it's not a nut, it's a bolt, but you know, that gets it out from the spindle, coil housing, whatever you want to call that. So it's knocked out. You can see it slid down. It gave us some slack actually, and the axle has pretty much slid through. I'm gonna put some gloves on because this is gonna get really messy. I mean, the grease, it's everywhere. I've got all these racks completely covered up. So once we get this axle slid out from like the hub side, then I'm gonna try to yank on it. I doubt I'm gonna be able to free it up myself just by yanking, trying to get it out of the transmission side. But if not, I have a little pry bar right here, so hopefully maybe we can get this axle out. Okay, this is a very messy job. So anyways, I supported up this rotor with a jack. That way, like, I could completely get the spindle to slide off the coil. And once I done that, I was able to kind of angle the spindle out to give it enough length for these splines to completely come out. So she's out on this side now. I just have to pry on the transmission side and see if we can't just yank it out. But yeah, you're gonna have to support it that way, like this doesn't just completely flop to the ground and rip out your speed sensor and brake line, because that would suck. But yeah, you could actually should probably just unhook it. That way, you know, you don't have to worry about ripping any wiring there. But brake line, the jacks, keeping the tension off of it. So now I'm gonna get underneath the car and hopefully we can pry it right off. Okay, trying to get this thing out has been very, very challenging. It's still not out. I actually had to jack my car up some more to get more leverage. The pry bar wasn't actually fitting. It was bottoming out on the ground. I'm pretty wore out. I've been trying to beat and bang with the pry bar and the hammer. I've read on forums that you need to push the axle in, turn it 45 degrees, pry on it some more. Nah, mine is not coming out. And you can see I yanked on it as hard as I could, and I just ripped like that U-joint ball section. It's just completely separated. So now that boot has exploded and shot grease everywhere as well. So I've been prying and prying and prying, and I cannot get that thing out. Okay, so I'm back at my grandfather's, and this is like a universal slide hammer kit that I'm pretty sure he got from O'Reilly's back in the day, but I have never used the plier attachment before, but here it is. You pretty much just unthread this all the way out, and then you thread that in. I'll show you real quick. So that comes out, and this is the slide hammer attachment. You just slide it in place, or thread it back in place, I mean. If the thread pitch is the same, which I think they should be universal, they're all the same, I believe. Yeah, it's starting to thread in now. But once you thread this in, and then you just thread it in to the end of the slide hammer. Yeah, so once that's threaded in, you can just thread it onto the slide hammer, which I can't do it with one hand. But yeah, essentially it just threads in like that. So hopefully this thing will bite hard enough so I can slide this, you know, just like a regular slide hammer. You just sling this all the way back against that little bevel, and hopefully the shock and inertia will get that thing to pop out. So what it is, the driver's side axle has a internal C-clip, and that C-clip is, I think, it can get in a bind, it can get kind of twisted over time, it corrodes, gets rusty, so it's seized up in there pretty good. So we need some kind of shock to go ahead and break it free. Sometimes you can turn the axle, that's what guys are saying, you can get that sweet spot and actually pull it out that way. With a pry bar is just not working. I don't have the right leverage for it, and I don't want to mangle up the transmission seal. So if this will bite, this I think would work perfect. That way it's just going to do nothing but directly pull the axle out from the transmission without ruining the seal. or boogering up the casing of the transmission. So let's give it a try. And I'm gonna get a fork just in case. If this doesn't work, maybe I can get the fork up behind it and beat on it with a hammer that way. I don't think this one is going to work, but this is the widest fork he's got, so I'm gonna bring it just in case. But hopefully the slide hammer and vice grips will get that axle out. Okay, I'm a little out of breath. So that little pickle fork that I had, way too narrow. It wasn't going to work. It would not fit in behind the axle. Whew. So what I had to do was use the slide hammer, and I went ahead and unhooked the wheel speed sensor harness just because I didn't want to risk ripping that. I'm keeping some tension on this brake line. I shouldn't be doing that, but anyways, I tried to get the slide hammer lined up as straight as I could. I squeezed the piss out of this set of vice grips. Well, this Husky brand, it just kept, this thing's a piece of junk. So I used, this is a Crescent brand, and it worked. But as you can see, I have the zip tie around the handle because each time I would use the slide hammer to run it back, it would just open up. It would spread back open, release all tension. So I got this to the point like I almost passed out squeezing it as hard as I could to get the best bite onto this axle. There is a little lip right here that you can see. You can't use these thicker sections, so there's three, I guess, for like that little U-joint, ball joint looking thing, kind of like resides up against those. But anyway, you can see I have it hooked in right there on one of the thin pieces because that's where I got the best bite. Like I said, I squeezed it as hard as I could, and once it bit, and it bit good, I went ahead and put the zip tie on the handle so it wouldn't fling back open. So I just kept whacking, and finally this sucker came out. So you can see, I mean, that's where the C-ring used to be. So I'm gonna try to look around and see if that C-ring is like completely out of the transmission, because I don't want it back in there. I don't know if the new axle comes with one or not, but I don't have the new axle, and I had to plug that up because I didn't want to lose transmission fluid. But the car is tilted to the point like all the fluid's kind of like rushing to the back of the case, so I'm not too worried about that. I don't know what fluid these cars take. I think they take that weird Ford DCT fluid, because it wasn't red when it came out, it was like brown. Anyways, with that aside, the axle is out. So I'm gonna hunt around, see if that C-clip found its way out of here. But yeah, oh, there it is. It's actually on the axle still. So yeah, this bad boy is what holds that sucker in there real nice and tight. So I'm gonna go ahead, break this down, and throw this away. You can see there's so much grease. I had rags. I mean, they are everywhere. This is such a messy job, especially if your boots exploded like mine did. So yeah, not a fun job. I hope I don't have to do this anytime soon. Passenger side apparently is easier, go figure. But the driver's side, wow, that was a pain in the butt. I don't know if there is a special like way you need to rotate the axle to get that C-clip to free up, but I could not find it. I mean, I turned it every which way you can think of, and I still struggled. So I'm just glad that it's out. I'm gonna try to get this spindle kind of set up a little bit better. I hate all that tension on the brake line. I hate that so much. But I went ahead, if you guys do this, make sure just go ahead and disconnect this, get it out of the way so you don't end up ripping that up and then have speed sensor issues down the road. But yeah, I'm just gonna make this a part 1 video. I'll do a part 2 install. I don't want to make a huge long video of removing it and installing. Installing should be easier, but removing it alone, that's a video in itself, because that was such a pain in the butt. But yeah guys, as always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.